Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hey everybody, welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, this is a special guest, a special guy, Cooper Hall.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Coop. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. What's happening with you?
Just hanging out. Me and Cooper go way back.
The good old days.
I've literally known you since you were a child.
Literally in adolescence. Yeah.
An adolescent boy. What?
Yeah.
How we Cooper and I guess our alumni is the best way to put it, of the same summer camp.
Yeah.
Shout out Camp Country Lad in Monterey, Tennessee. CCO. Cooper and I, oh man. I can't remember how old you actually were the first summer that we interacted. 10, 11?
Somewhere around there.
You had purple Crocs. I remember that was a big thing.
Dude, those were the best.
Those are great.
I loved those. I'm sad that those weren't in fashion at the time, nor have they ever really become in fashion.
I've heard that they've sort of come around now.
Yeah, like Posty Maloney, he has his own line of Crocs.
Oh, does he? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, or at least within the past year or two, he's had a line, and I guess they kind of went back up in style.
Yeah.
I think their stock also rose when he posted that.
Crocs stock.
Yeah.
They
Crocs.
have. I didn't know they were publicly traded.
I don't know if they are. I might have made that up, but Yahoo Finance has led me astray.
Crocs, you can sell them right on StockX.
Yeah.
Crocs and your Yeezys.
Get on Robinhood or sneakershouts.com.
Yeah. And you
I
can
don't know
follow.
if Sneaker Shouts has Crocs on there, but
I've never even heard of Sneaker Shouts.
honestly, I'm going to give you some insider information.
Okay.
It's good shit.
Yeah?
That's about all I can say.
Okay.
If you want some cheap sneaks or sneaks that are on deals, go there and you will be happy. You can also
Interesting.
find apparel. I really hope that they kind of I don't think they would ever even see this. Nor
They
have
probably
a way.
wouldn't. But, I mean, I'm not even that much of a sneakerhead
me.
anyway.
No, they have yeah, but you can get sweats. You can get basketball shorts. You can get it all there. It's great.
I've never been. I'm sure you may have noticed in my neighborhood. This is the streetwear neighborhood, the Fairfax district.
I have to say, when I was walking up, I saw a line outside of Supreme.
Yep.
And I saw a few other lines outside of stores. And each time that I passed one, it kind of took a part of my soul. It's like the same thing in New York. When I pass outside a random shop that I've never heard of, and they're having some sale for a neon blue flat bill hat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was still a trend.
Yeah, man, that's Melrose and Fairfax for you. Melrose and Fairfax have all it's got all the super hyper trendy shops that you've never heard of.
Right.
And then occasionally a random throwback one. There used to be, not even used to be, it's actually expanded. You remember Von Dutch?
Oh, God.
Von Dutch, which I thought had completely died off.
God. I think I saw one
in the late 2000s. They had a Von Dutch store. There's this open mic I go to fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Called Bert's Back Room. Shout out to Bert, to Rachel. And they had a Von Dutch store right below them. The mic spot was upstairs, and then Von Dutch was in one of the lower retail spaces. And they got so popular they expanded to a bigger space. Again.
Who is Von Dutch?
I don't know.
I
thought it was just Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, exactly. The trucker bill hat.
Yeah.
Like the trucker hat.
I thought he was Von Dutch.
I also thought D-Red started. That's an insider joke for
D-Red.
anybody who's watching this. But D-Red.
That's maybe just for I think there may be a couple camp people who listen to this.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure good old JL does.
Oh, good old
Johnny.
JL.
Shout out, buddy.
But I think I started wearing a trucker hat solely because of the Crossville Flea Market and D-Red wearing one of those.
Well, that's the thing is like the
And
flea
then Ashton
market.
Kutcher took over.
Flea market's a place. The Crossville Flea Market. You could buy. That was where
Crossville,
like
Tennessee. Crossville, Tennessee.
You go and you buy the actual like stuff that people used to wear,
Yeah.
and now you're buying facsimiles of that. Like
Yeah.
I live across the street from a flea market.
Yeah,
There's
that one.
the
yeah, I saw.
Melrose Trading Post, and
You have
that
to pay to get in.
you have to pay $5 to get in, and everything there. There's nothing at Melrose Trading Post that I think costs less than $10. Maybe albums. Maybe you could get like I think I've gotten an old record from there, but even that cost like $7. Like
Wow.
what did I get? I got a Foreigner Greatest Hits album.
I like it.
Yeah. Well,
I like it.
used to one time I was dating a girl who was a big Foreigner fan, and she was visiting here in LA, and
That's why you got the record.
I got the record because I was like, oh, she likes Foreigner. I'm going to get some Foreigner. And she
Yeah.
was like, ooh. But then I blew the fuck up out of that relationship. Because it wasn't even really a relationship. We were like seeing each other and texting a lot.
Right.
And then she
One of
came to
those.
visit me. It was long distance. And she came to visit me. And then I was like, how do we feel about dating? And she was like, it's probably a bad idea. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. and then I acted like we were dating for like another couple months after that. And it was just weird and uncomfortable for her. And
Right.
she called me out on it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was bad. That was a bad move. But I got that album for $7. Great choice.
Right.
Foreigner
Great
Greatest
choice.
Hits. You get Cold as Ice. You get
Yeah.
Jukebox Hero.
Cold as ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well-
but that's like if Crossville Flea Market, you could get the same thing for like 50 cents.
Yeah. Exactly.
You
I-
buy knives, airsoft.
You could get anything. I remember one of my campers trying to buy a taser for literally $5.
Yep.
And I can't say that. I took it out of his hand
Yeah.
and I was like, no, let's walk away. And good stuff. They were trying to sell my campers like Santa Claus $100 bills for like $20.
What?
Yeah. They're like, this is special edition. I promise you it is worth at least $25.
Oh my God.
And I'm getting you a deal. I was like, you're a crook for selling a 7-year-old a Santa Claus $20 bill.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
that's the thing.
whatever
Is
it
like,
was.
they know that these kids are easily tricked.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy
Because
peasy.
the other thing about going to a flea market is you don't know that you can haggle down when you're
so-
that young.
No,
you
you-
just trust that they're going to give you a fair price.
Yeah,
because you have
exactly.
never talked to an adult one-on-one before.
Right. The only adults you've talked to are your parents or your parent or your
teachers.
your friends. Yeah, or your friends' parents. Mm-hmm. And they're always like, "Oh yeah, here's a snack pack.
Yeah,
Here's what do they even make snack packs? I don't know.
I think they do.
But yeah, like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad seeing that.
Yeah,
But man, we learned some lessons. We
Oh, we
learned how
learned
to
a-
haggle.
yeah.
I like that you're still wearing the worker shirts that we
Of
used
course. Oh,
to
dude.
get. Not right now, but
They're a big part of my wardrobe.
yeah.
I love a work shirt.
Dude, they're so good. They're so good. I remember wearing one too. This was like freshman year of college. And I remember wearing one. Some guy was like, Josie? I was like, it's Jose, but yeah, fuck yeah. Let's do this.
I just had to retire the first work shirt I ever bought.
No.
It said Hoppy on it.
Oh
It
man.
didn't. I had it since 8th grade,
Wow.
and it stopped fitting me. I was officially too broad-shouldered for it now.
What does that say?
What it said about me?
Well, no, what does that say about you? Yeah.
It says that I've become a stronger,
Hell yeah.
more robust man,
Ooh.
full-figured.
Ooh, yeah. That's what it says.
Someone. I was trying. I remember this was years ago. Like when I first did. When I was first doing, like I think it was There's some season of Roast Battle. It was like the second season, I think, and I remember I was shopping for clothes beforehand, and a good friend of mine who's very fashionable. She does some stuff for like styling for TV shows.
Yeah.
I was texting her pictures of shirts.
Oh God.
And I was trying. She was like, "Hit me up with whatever." It was like, "Whatever you need. Send me what you find."
Right.
And I was trying on stuff at like Zara and H&M, and it just wasn't fitting right. And then I went to the J Crew, and it fit great.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. Zara and H&M are not for like your body type exactly. You're more of like a She said it very, very nicely, like a strapping young American." And I was like, "Yeah, that means I'm a little bit bigger.
Right.
I'm a little
Right.
bit. I got a little bit more oomph. Yes,
You got a little bit more.
I got a little oomph.
Yeah, a little more chutzpah.
Yeah, I'm not all about that bass, but I'm about that oomph. I'm all about that baritone.
Oh yeah. Man, the most forgotten part.
The baritone.
Yeah, of any choral ensemble. Baritones make it.
Speaking of, let's go. So how's this for a transition? Speaking of most forgotten parts, the movie you chose to hate today, which we've gone quite a distance into the podcast before we even talk about,
Yeah, touche.
is a movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that largely gets relegated to the bottom of the track. That is The Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah. Well, first off, writing is atrocious. Even as a child, when I went and saw this,
Because this came out 2008. How old were you when you saw it?
2008, I was 14.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you saw this.
Around that. Yeah.
You see this in theaters.
And I'm like, yo, terrible. This is absolute terrible. And I walk out. That's probably when I learned that I was like a false, pretentious prick.
When you were like, "Oh, I'm better than this comic book movie. I'm out.
Right.
Excuse me."
But then, like, I came to my senses in due time, and I was like, no, I fucking love this shit. But that movie, like, I feel bad. It's got some great people in it. Love Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Great dude. Liv
Great
Tyler.
actor.
Yeah, great actor. Liv Tyler. I don't have anything against her.
Right.
The guy from Lie to Me. Loved Lie to Me, the show. I don't know his name.
I don't even remember Lie to Me, the show.
I think it was the name of it, where he's like
Is he a human lie detector?
he's like
One of those?
Yeah, one of those people. And
Hold on.
he's a great actor. I can't remember his name.
What is Lie to Me? Here
Lie
we
to-
go.
It was a show.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. There we go.
Yeah.
I thought he was hella smart in that. And then in this, he's like a 45-year-old ex-Marine prick who apparently is better than everyone,
Right.
which is hard to believe.
Well, they inject him with the super soldier serum.
Well, yeah, that. But I don't know, dude. I don't ever see him being like a crazy awesome Marine before that either.
Right. I mean, he doesn't seem like the type. He seems, if he's going to be any sort of military person, he seems like he's going to be like a James Bond type.
Yeah. Very much so. Also, it seemed like it was the like, if I were to give it a letter, it would be like the R-list army that came to attack the Incredible Hulk.
The R list.
Yeah, like it's that far
It's
down
so
the
far
alphabet.
down the list.
I don't know if that's how they rank their like battalions or whatever, but that's essentially what I thought it was. Because if you like look at the first scene where they're like, or the second scene where they're attacking the Incredible Hulk at the university,
Right.
it literally is them just fucking everything up.
Yeah.
The general's like, where the hell are the air people?
Right.
And this is really like verbatim what he says. That's
I
how
remember
good the writing
this. This is
was.
exactly
Yeah.
how it sounds.
Where the hell are the air people? In a southern accent. Terrible southern accent.
That's the same. I mean, it's the same thing in their first fight with the Hulk when they're in the weird soda factory.
Yeah, the weird
and they're like, shoot, they're like, he's turned there's something else in here. We don't know what happened to him, but there's some sort of a large man.
yeah.
And the general, played by William Hurt, Thunderbolt Ross, is like, that is the target, and none of them comprehend that that's who they're supposed to be shooting either. Like,
Yeah.
even after the fact, Tim Roth is talking to Thunderbolt Ross and is like, yeah, what happened to our guy, Bruce, the guy who you're supposed to shoot?
Yeah.
Even though in the middle of the fight, he was like, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, no, there's someone else. There was another person. There was another being. And you need to tell me more about this because I need to know.
There was a lot going. Here's what I took away from this movie. So I will say this, and I'm going to ask you this question also. Okay. I'm not a huge Marvel Cinematic Universe. I used to say comic book, but I think it's really just more like the MCU.
Yeah.
It's not really my vibe.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of MCU movies.
Right.
Now, largely because of this podcast, but it's not really it's not what I'm going to go see movie wise. Are you a Marvel dude?
After this, no. I don't know if I could pinpoint where I became a Marvel dude. I wouldn't say I'm like one of those diehards.
Gotcha.
But I definitely love the series and I love what has become of it.
Right.
But this one, I have to say, is definitely on the bottom end of my list.
Yeah, that's the thing. I ask that to mention what I think is the biggest point of this whole movie for me because I watched it for the very first time because you wanted to talk about the Incredible Hulk. I mean, by the way, 2008. It's the second movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right after Iron Man comes out.
Yeah.
Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, Tim Roth, Tim Blake Nelson, Ty Burrell in a weird dramatic role.
Love Phil Dunphy.
And William Hurt. And it is a movie, I don't think it's super bad. Yeah. But it's definitely not good. It's a Marvel movie that it's very clear that they hadn't figured out how to make a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie yet.
Oh, 1,000%.
They were still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because Iron Man was a huge hit.
Yep.
And I know in their minds they'd already, they'd been orchestrating this. Some Kevin Feige or whatever, however you pronounce his name, had been puppeteering like, okay, we're gonna have a whole thing. We're gonna get to the Avengers.
Yep.
And you start to see the workings of this, but this in particular, you can see like, all right, we're laying out some groundwork. We don't exactly know how to make these kinds of movies yet.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't gotten the formula.
Right. It still feels because Iron Man felt very fun.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great film.
Iron Man I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This is still straddling the line of trying too hard to be in the Dark Knight serious kind of vein.
Yeah.
Not like gritty, realistic like Dark Knight was trying to be.
Right.
This was just more like just kind of boring and bland.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. That's exactly. And they didn't do. They have all-stars in the lineup. Like, maybe not all-stars, but they have.
I mean, Edward Norton's an all-star.
Edward
Norton's probably one of our greatest living actors. I'll throw that out there.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, there are definitely ones better than him.
Right.
But he's up there.
I think that's good. I don't think many people would initially say that, but after that is brought up,
right? I
think I would agree.
And part of the reason why I say that is because he turned down doing future Hulk work.
100%.
Because even he's like, yeah, I don't want to just be one guy for the rest of my career. I don't want to be just tied up to being the Hulk. I want to have diversity of my roles.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe he missed out because it's become, but
maybe. I mean, you could
at
say
the same
that.
time, like he's already. The thing is that if he wasn't as successful of an actor as he is today,
right,
then maybe he would say that. But he is.
I mean, that's the thing. None of these people really miss out by not being a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Touche.
It's all gravy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like Edward Norton is clearly the best part of this movie, I would say.
I would agree.
But the rest of the movie just is kind of... It's just kind of there. It's just kind of And there's flashes of the stuff that sort of becomes hallmarks of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's
Like
some
what?
stuff. I think the stuff where it feels the most MCU like is all the stuff with Tim Blake Nelson, the scientist, Mr. Blue.
Yep.
All of that stuff where it becomes a little bit more cartoony.
Yep.
And it's not just feeling so everything is brown.
Yeah.
Or dark and weird.
Yeah.
Where you actually have a little bit of like life to the dialogue and stuff. And the Stan Lee cameo, which is just complete nonsense in a way that most Stan Lee cameos in these movies are not.
Yeah. That one I think stands out among the rest. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that he opens up his fridge, takes a sip of this soda from Brazil.
Right.
And he's drops it to the floor.
Yeah. This soda from Brazil that is popular enough that everybody knows what it is.
Right.
And then they don't even name what the soda is. They're like, that's that Guarana soda.
Yeah.
And a soda bottle, by the way, oh my God, one of the biggest problems of this entire movie. So the very beginning of the movie, the reason why this all happens is because they do a great thing of having all of the backstory take place in the opening credits.
Yep.
Which is genius.
So good.
So smart. But then
terribly done, but so good.
It's just a great idea because you get right into it.
Yeah.
And then you have Bruce Banner, Edward Norton doing like jujitsu breathing exercises in Brazil.
Also, I found that scene absolutely hilarious.
It's pretty solid.
Like if you look at
pretty weird.
His like master, there's like a maybe 15-second scene of them just zoomed in on his master's stomach, or his teacher's stomach, I should say.
Yeah. Is it sensei? Is that the
Sensei?
jujitsu term?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know that.
I don't know. I don't know either.
His stomach just
show that core. Yeah.
It gyrates. It like moves. It makes me feel good. And it makes me wonder what the fuck is going on. What is his breathing style to like make it go inwards and then outwards and then protruding forwards? I don't know.
There's a lot.
It was great.
You got to go in deep. You got to go into the stomach, not the diaphragm. You got to go deeper.
Right.
That's some like voiceover acting techniques.
Yeah.
But there's the scene right after that. You see that Bruce Banner is slumming it, working as a day shift electrician at a soda factory. And his boss is like trying to convince him. He's like, come on full time. And Bruce is like, no, I'm good. And then he cuts himself and a drop of blood falls out and everything slows down.
Yeah.
And they land on the in the drop, because the drop blood is in the bottling plant, right? So it lands in the bottles, and Bruce is freaking out because he's like, "Oh my God, my blood is I'm the Hulk.
Yep.
Someone's gonna drink my Hulk blood." So he runs down to the conveyor belt and stops the production line, and then sees just a spot of blood, and he wipes it up, and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're good." Then maybe 2 feet to his left, a gigantic drop of blood inside a bottle that nobody notices.
Huge. Yeah.
It streaks. It's not
subtle
hard to miss. It's not subtle. Exactly.
It's literally like, oh shit. Anybody on, even like somebody who's like wheeling that into a 7-Eleven would be like, oh, this looks like it has some red in it. I wonder if that's bad.
Yeah, well, because they show at every single point of the production process, this bottle is very obviously contaminated.
Oh,
to the point
100%.
where it's like, I am not someone who has worked in a factory, but I've seen enough like episodes of how stuff works,
right,
involving factory workers to know there's fucking quality control.
Oh,
and there's somebody who's looking at everything before it goes to be shipped off.
Yeah,
that would see this.
Yeah.
There's no way that this is skirting past the fine people of the Guarana soda factory in Brazil.
Yeah, who knows though? Who knows?
I can guess.
Yeah, I think 99.9% of the human population would be like, yeah, I would assume that would have been like taken out.
Right. Think about how complicit Marvel is in perpetuating stereotypes about dumb, lazy Brazilians.
Oh, I love it. Maybe not. But
There's a handful of people who saw this movie and they're like, just like I thought with these fucking Brazilians.
I gotta watch where I get my bottles from.
Right. I'm not going to drink any of that Guarana.
Brazil is the first place where I get my bottles from.
Right. My bright green soda.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sticking back to Mountain Dew, American made.
Hell yeah, raise hell, praise Dale. 3 for Dale.
But there's all sorts of stuff. But that's one of the first parts of this movie. I'm like, okay, come on.
Oh, one. Yeah.
It's just so contrived. It's Deus Ex Machina right from the jump. It's so contrived.
Yeah, very much so. I love the fact that he's like living in the slums of Brazil.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's fine. He has like a big ass apartment for a slum, too,
right?
Which is surprising.
Well, it's cartoonish in a way where like I said, they haven't figured out the secret sauce quite yet of how to do a Marvel movie right. Because they're doing stuff that's like cartoonishly bad, but not to the point where it doesn't feel wrong that it's happening. Like in the very first chase scene where Tim Roth's character is running around trying to catch Bruce Banner as they're running through the favelas, City of God style.
Right.
And he gets into his giant apartment and he sees his dog and shoots his dog.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, we already knew this guy was evil. He didn't need to prove how much more evil he was by making him kill Bruce Banner's dog.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's like, maybe they were like trying to be like, oh, hey, this guy's going to break the rules down the line. Because the general basically says like, get rid of the dog. And then he obeys that order, I guess.
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that. I thought he just shot the dog on his own.
No, he's like,
out of his own dog-hating desire.
They send like the wire cam. I don't know what you would call that, but it's like the really thin.
Oh, like
camera.
little snake camera.
Little snake cam. Yeah.
Like the butthole camera when you're getting not a colostomy, a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Love those. Yeah. He sends that colonoscopy can through the door. And then the general's like, get rid of the dog, because the dog starts playing with it. And then he takes care of the order.
Oh, I missed that part.
Down the line, don't want to give any spoilers away.
No, we can spoil.
But he fucking goes against the general.
Right.
And becomes
He becomes the Abomination.
The Abomination, which really I thought is like a Hulk amphibian.
Right. It's like a tiny Godzilla.
Yeah. Tiny Godzilla that despises the Hulk for some reason.
Right. Well, because
well, I guess it makes sense why. But
he sees the Hulk and he's like,
you have power.
You have power, but he's also like, he's the competitive military guy.
Yeah.
Even to the, there's some subtly good writing in this movie where they're like, Bruce Banner, he's so, I mean, there's some that's like so on the nose, but there's some that actually makes sense in the same scene, which is a thing that I was like, you guys are so close to getting it right.
Right.
But it's so like, there's parts where they're like, there's something about this Bruce Banner. He's so mild-mannered and normal. What's his deal? And I'm just like, okay, I get it. Yeah, we get it. We've already seen all this. You don't need to over-explain it. But then there's parts where they're like, we're in the same scene. Ross and Tim Roth are talking. Mm-hmm. And Thunderbolt Ross is like, yeah, listen, he's a scientist. He's not like you and me.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that killer instinct. And that's probably overwriting it more than they actually did in that scene.
Right.
Which is, I see that. I'm like, I wish that there was more stuff like that. Like, I wish, and it's hard to say, I wish that a movie about the Incredible Hulk was a little bit more subtle. But it's a weird thing. It's just, I wish they'd picked a lane.
I agree.
I think if they'd gone more cartoony and fun, it would have been, and you know what part of it is?
Yeah.
I think part of it falls to the director who they had. This is a director named Louis Leterrier, who's a French director.
I didn't even look any of this up. I should have.
No, it's
I
okay.
Done my homework.
You watch the movie again. That's all that really matters.
Touche.
That's the thing. Louis Leterrier directed the two Transporter films, Clash of the Titans, Now You See Me, which is all movies in Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. It all sounds like fun, dumb, like the Transporter, Jason Statham, transporting.
Right.
And Now You See Me, magicians, heisting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how
Love
fun
it.
and dumb. The Incredible Hulk, I think he was trying to make like a serious Hulk movie.
Yeah.
If he had just gone in the fun and dumb lane, it also would have been totally fine.
Right. I think my favorite scene in the film is when there's like 10 seconds of them just saying no repeatedly. It cuts to different actors and they're like, no, 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 no.
Right.
And it's brilliant writing, brilliant directing. And I think that sums up the whole movie.
Yeah.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
Well, there's this thing. I'm going to say another part that sums up the movie for me.
Okay.
Is when Hulk and I want to say Mary Jane. It's not Mary Jane. Betty Ross. Excuse me. Liv Tyler's character.
Yeah.
When they run away together, and they're like rekindling their romance, and they're about to fuck. And he's got his fucking heartbeat, his heart rate monitor on. And they're like making out, and they're about to get it on, and then he's like, "Uh-oh, I can't. I'm getting too excited." That's how I felt this whole movie. This movie's like comic book movie Blue Balls, where it's like I can't make this too exciting.
That's a brilliant name.
Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant.
this movie it is what it is.
Yeah.
This movie is totally fine. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. It's just straight down the middle of like average, boring ass comic book movie. Like I put this on, and even during the big fight scenes, I was still like, I'm gonna do my dishes.
No, 100%. Yeah.
I'm not missing anything.
No, the fight. Well, that's like I think that's the problem. If you have a good Marvel film, if you have any kind of action film, you should have at least one epic fight scene or some epic action scene.
Right.
And all of these just fell flat.
Yeah. Even the climactic fight scene against Abomination.
It was like, yeah, I could easily do the dishes.
Yeah.
I could clean up my cat shit. Like, I could do anything else.
Yeah.
And still be like, yeah, I didn't miss much. Didn't miss much of anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to say if there's one thing I would change about this movie, besides all the other things I've already mentioned,
Right.
it's a simple fix that I think would have made it a way different vibe by the end. Mm-hmm. And I blame not Liv Tyler specifically for this, but Liv Tyler's character, Betty Ross. When the Hulk is in that final fight scene and he's strangling Abomination.
Oh.
And she says, "No, stop!"
Yes.
And demands that he stop killing Abomination. And then doesn't and just puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
Ugh, dumb.
That one I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, if there's a monster on the loose, if you were to be killing a monster and we had a love interest, even if we didn't, and I was like, oh no, please no. I hope to God that you don't listen to me.
Right.
And you kill that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I apologize if cursing is...
No, cursing is very allowed.
Okay. But, like, I would hope to God you would disobey my cry out for you to stop and just end this abomination.
Right. Because even if it happens and that still makes the shift in their relationship dynamic much more interesting.
Yeah.
Because then instead of Bruce Banner running away to avoid being caught by the fucking government, he runs away from the actual decision he made to kill somebody when he's a mild-mannered scientist. Oh no.
Yeah.
And that's way more interesting narratively to me.
No, I 100% agree.
I gotta ask you this to wrap it up. What is our and you've seen this movie as a kid and you walked out.
Right.
Now you watched it all the way through.
Right.
How did it feel watching it all the way through? What was your thought process by the end? Were you like, I definitely made the right decision? That seems like sort of where you're at. But what else were you feeling?
I think overall, I think I still dislike it greatly.
Yeah. Fair.
But I do think that there are more shining moments now that I've rewatched it than there were when I watched it earlier as like however old I was.
Yeah.
And walked out of the film.
When you're 14, you got no patience for some of the stuff that they're doing in this movie.
Exactly. I'm hormonal. Don't know what's going on.
Right.
Thinking about all the girls I'm going to disappoint later on in my life.
Already sort of resigned yourself to that?
Yeah, just given up entirely. Said, oh, I'm going to be like the Incredible Hulk and just go insane.
I'm just going to do a lot of breathing exercises.
Yeah, tons of breathing exercises to calm myself down. Yeah. No, I think now I might appreciate it a little bit more. Still don't like it. I think cinematically, there are a few scenes where I didn't appreciate it as much. I think like some of those flyovers of like the favelas or whatnot. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Pretty generic.
That's
pretty nice.
But that's the problem is generic and nice is not, doesn't make it good.
No.
Exactly.
Not by any means.
And that's,
but like those little things I guess I could appreciate more than I did before instead of like thinking it's nice to have those colors and the kind of depth in the shot and whatnot.
Yeah.
Especially like the last couple scenes where they're in British Columbia and it's like the fall and there's like the golden, I guess it's pre-fall, or it's going into the fall, into winter.
We're switching to the colors.
Yeah. And it's like the golden hay with the red and the orange leaves on the trees and it's nicer, but still strongly dislike. That was a long-winded answer. Strongly dislike still.
I mean, your answer is kind of like this movie. It takes a long time to get to just like, okay, fine.
It's like literally everything about me. Just, ask any girl. Yeah.
It takes forever to get disappointed.
Maybe not.
You got to believe in yourself. You're not the Hulk, Cooper.
No, I'm not.
Don't think of yourself as the Hulk because then you're going to keep disappointing people.
I used this yesterday when I was playing basketball. Somebody was saying that they were like Captain America. They were all of these. And I was like, I'm the table that all of those superheroes sit around. He didn't laugh at it. And then he like dunked on me essentially. So it was great.
Yeah.
I thought that was like,
you just got shawarma juice on you.
I mean, yeah, that sounds delicious.
I'm going to say believe in yourself. You're better than the MCU.
Well, thank you.
And you deserve better.
Am I DC?
Well.
Or am I like a off-brand?
Tough to say.
Like your last...
I would say, I mean, I just watched Joker last night. You're definitely not like that dark.
Okay.
So that's good.
How was that, by the way? How'd you like it?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's definitely, it's good but flawed.
Okay.
I felt the way watching Joker, like it's sitting with me still.
Right.
Joaquin Phoenix is clearly like the reason to go see that movie.
Okay.
His performance is mind-blowingly good.
Okay.
But it's flawed.
Okay.
There's a lot of the writing that's overly simple. There's a lot of stuff that's very too on the nose, but it's also a really beautifully shot movie. The art direction and all the technical stuff is really nice. The score is really good.
Right.
But it's Joaquin Phoenix's movie. It's a character study.
Okay.
Everybody else is definitely for peripheral. You know?
I haven't seen it yet, so that's
but it's
good
worth
to know
seeing.
Going into. Yeah,
it's
I want
absolutely worth seeing.
Okay.
There's this one part. Oh my God! I saw this movie in a theater that it was way more full than I thought it was going to be. Because I usually go see movies during the week by myself, and I saw this by myself last night at 11 o'clock.
It's pretty late.
Which is pretty late, and I was like, there's not going to be that many people. I have AMC stubs. I reserved the ticket in advance. There was like, I was in the front section, so I was like, there's not going to be anybody around me.
Right.
I get there, it's a pretty full theater. I'm like, all right, this is going to be weird, and it's a lot of teens, a lot of high schoolers, young adults.
Love it.
And there's some parts in the movie that are definitely not funny. Like there's a lot of dark humor in the movie, but there's also parts of this movie that are explicitly not supposed to be funny.
Right.
You're watching this man lose his mind and cave into his sadness. And there's one part in particular, it doesn't even spoil anything. Like he takes stuff out of a fridge and climbs inside the fridge while he's like losing his mind. And there's this just row of bunch of like 5 teen dudes sitting in front of me, just like cackling at that. And I was like, no, you guys are everything this movie's against.
Yeah.
Man. But it's still worth a watch.
Okay.
Anyway.
I will definitely watch that.
Go watch The Joker. Don't watch Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
Big time. Don't watch The Incredible Hulk.
And Cooper, thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
For bringing this movie to my attention.
No, thank you.
It's nice to see you, dude.
Nice to see you.
Do you usually, I have a lot of comics and people on, but I don't even know because you're just a regular ass friend.
Regular.
Do you have social media that you want to plug that if people want to follow you and see what you do?
Yeah, sure. Like, hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, and if you want, hit me up on Insta. Coop Doggy Dog 42.
Nice.
I have 5 posts. All are from 2014. If you want, HMU. I believe that means hit me up.
It does.
And I don't have anything else, but yeah.
Check out Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, check out just straight up Yahoo Finance. It's not Yahoo Finance. It's Yahoo
Finance.
Finance.
Excuse me.
And
apologies.
Yeah, no. Take me away, but yeah, all right. That sounds great. That's about all I've got.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Cooper. You can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com for show dates. I'm going to be on the road in November. I already talked about that at the beginning of the episode, but check those out. And if you like the show, tell a friend, subscribe, and that's it. This is
Gnarly.
Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.
Woo!